Welcome back to InDesign and our 20-page book that we're working on. This small tutorial video, I'm going to discuss how to get your text placed from Microsoft Word into InDesign. Close that. Now, originally, let me show you my original document. Okay, we're doing a little book on how to make books. This is the finished product as far as the digital document goes. So this is the project I'm working on, reproducing in InDesign. Now, one of the things I need to do is I need to get my body copy moved or placed or imported, some people might call it, from Word into InDesign. Now, I don't want to start my copy until later on the publication, so I choose whichever page I'm going to start that on. So in my case, it's going to be page 1. Yours may be further into the document. And there's a way to, well, I'll tell you the way not to get the body copy. We do not open the Word document, and we do not copy and paste from the Word document. Again, we do not do that. The reason being is the paragraph styles that we worked really hard to create in Microsoft Word will not come over when you copy and paste. And there are other reasons as well, but that's probably the biggest reason in regards to the proficiencies and efficiencies of working with the software. Instead of opening Word and copying and pasting, which is not a very good thing to do, we will go to File and we will go to Place. Command D on a Mac, Control D on a PC, File, Place. And I'll find the copy I was working with. There's my folder, there's my copy. I called it Style. I had the name Styles because that tells me that this is not the original Word document. This tells me this is the Word document that I worked pretty hard at making those styles. Paragraph styles, that is. I'll hit Open, and I get what is called a loaded cursor. Now, if you've never worked with one of these before, what a loaded cursor does is when you click within a column or grid lines, when you click, it automatically puts the document in there. Now, it doesn't put the entire document in. What it does is it just puts it in that one box. Now, if you are in a situation where you need to have your text flow from one page to the other, which we are in that situation, you will see that in that text box there is a red plus sign in the lower right hand corner of it. That indicates that this story has a lot more text in it. So I'm going to scroll down so I can see the red text box and the next page. I'm then going to click on that plus sign in the red text or in that text box. I'm scrolling to the next page, and if I click in the top corner of the that column, there comes the next bit of text, and it is putting it in reading order. So I could spend quite a bit of time, if this were a long document, and 20 pages is long enough, I could spend quite a bit of time clicking and linking the text from page to page. However, that's not very proficient. Not when the software will do it for you. So I'm going to undo quite a bit so that I can show you how we would do it when we are in a bit more of a hurry, or basically when we're in a more proficient mode of working. Okay, so I'm back to the beginning. I'm going to again figure out what page I want to start on. For me, it's going to be page 1. For you, it may be something else. Maybe page 2 or further in. Again, I would go to File and Place to go get that text. Find the text, double click on it, or hit Open when you click on it once. And here the cursor is loaded again. Now, if I click, it's going to do the same thing that I did before, and it's only going to put it on one page. However, if I hold down the Shift key while this cursor is loaded, you will see that that icon has changed from now my shift is off, a newspaper sort of look for the loaded cursor to a kind of a flowing looking symbol. The symbol looks like an S on its side with an arrow. That tells me that if I click when I'm placing the text and I hold down the Shift key, that will automatically flow the text from one page into the other. And it does it in reader's order and chronological order, so this is the correct order. So I could have spent, if this were a 100-page document or a big document, this would have taken quite a bit of time to import that text into all those pages. Now, this being a 20-page document, I really don't want to spend much time on it there either. This is very accurate. It stays within the grid. It only takes just a split second to get it all to come in. And so I recommend that you use the autoflow feature, assuming you've got your columns set up properly to accept that text. You may have to edit your columns. If you're going across a few columns, if your text boxes run across to, let's say if we had, if I went to layout and margins and columns, and I had like a 2-column layout, such as this, if I were to have placed that text, let me just do it over again. Let's open. If I were to place that text, I'll just use this page since it's empty. What it does is it does it in columns at a time. So if you have a multi-column grid and you want your text to be in a specific area, you may have to temporarily modify that grid to accommodate the size of text box that you might use. So it's a little bit more complicated, but it's something that's not horribly difficult. Let me go back to layout and margin the columns and make that 1. There we go. So sometimes I have to reverse engineer things or break things. You know, if I want this to, if I wanted to break this into columns, actually you should really do that in the master pages. So it'll apply to all pages. But if I wanted to break this now down into a bunch of columns to expand the options for building my layout, you'll see that this one didn't do it because it's kind of grandfathered in from when I actually clicked on it and went to layout and pulled it to do it once. So once you override margins and columns on a page, sometimes it sticks and the master pages won't go, it will not apply. You can also drag the master page to a page and it will apply. You can see that I have a multi-column grid now and the text stays put. So sometimes we want to create these multi-column grids. So think more of a, hey, majority rules. Go with margins initially for where you want your text boxes to be placed, and then maybe then expand out columns. This can get a little bit crazy if you're not really used to it, but once you play around with it, it gets, you can kind of get through thinking through that process. Well, this is the video, again, of covering how to import text or place text from Word to InDesign and not copy and paste, because we really do want to see that paragraph styles, they came in, the ones that we used in the Word document. So this is why we file, place. Thanks, and I hope you find that this is an efficient way to work, and I appreciate your time.